There was a study put out by the USGS last year that stated that we're going to most likely be seeing peak coal in the Appalachian Basin in 5 to 10 years. So what that means is that it's on its way out. We don't have to look for alternatives to coal. We have to look at what's going to happen post-coal. What's a post-coal or beyond coal economy? We know what happens to communities that don't have an alternative plan to a single resource-dependent economy. They turn into ghost towns. Down there, everyone gets impacted the same. You know, a legislator or a coal operator gets hit just as much as the guy that's on welfare or the mother that's trying to support a family. So it is, you know, a natural resource economy, and poverty is the ultimate equalizer down there. When we're looking at communities in general and looking at both aspects, the social and the natural aspects, or the social and ecological aspects, it's such a complex system. So we have to go and work with communities with a multifaceted approach, right? You can call it a systems approach, you can call it a holistic approach. The approach that I use in my work is ecological design, which looks at the way that communities and development can utilize ecological processes, such as, you know, native structures, functions, looking at photosynthesis, looking at filtration mechanisms, diversity, resilience, which is such a strong term of how a community can absorb a disturbance, and then once a disturbance passes the threshold of that absorbance, how it can adapt. Right? So how resilient is the ecology through its diversity, through its different niches that it holds? How resilient are the people? Is the economy? How we're applying ecological design and ecological economics is looking at the equity of distribution of these resources, is looking at a diversified economy, which is really fundamental. When we're talking about ecological design at the Gunn Institute, we're very privileged and fortunate to have John Todd as a fellow. And John has been basically a pioneer in developed the fields of ecological design. The principles and these orders that he put out really look at how we can address a complex system, looking at developing a regenerative economy for areas that are heavily degraded, socially, economically, ecologically. In Appalachia, the real foundation that we look at is soil, and how to first off build healthy, productive soils that everything else can stand up on. So that can provide a foundation for developing local biofuels and biochar, of looking at sustaining agroforestry, sustainable agricultural systems, in a way that you're utilizing a landscape that is essentially unmanaged, unproductive, and toxic. So in terms of ecological design, we're seeding a whole mix of high diversity perennial native grasses that are native to the system but get outcompeted by all the different other types of forestry vegetation. So the main thing about perennial vegetation is that it develops root systems and looks at developing very large scale root systems that till up the soil, that break into different clods and can break through that, cycle nutrients, promote infiltration of different precipitation and hydrological mechanisms. and add organic matter. Moving into the second order is how we can utilize the byproducts of natural technologies. So in this instance, it's developing a local biofuel and biochar economy. So the char is one byproduct. Another byproduct is synthetic fuel, which you can use for straight up energy. And the other product is a bio oil, again, which can be utilized to actually go right back into the machine, the pyrolysis machine, and power that. So it's very much closed loop. The third order of ecological design looks at how we take different natural processes and also different industrial processes that normally don't interact with each other or feed off of each other, and find ways that they can actually become a closed loop. So essentially an industrial ecology that's based, again, off of the principles and the instructions that we see in natural ecosystems. And providing benefits and different types of services, products, jobs, resilience, essentially, to these local communities. I definitely think that Appalachia can become an example for many other communities, regardless of the type of economy that it's founded on, and specifically for other types of single resource dependent economies.